All right, Pirate fans, welcome out to another episode of the PC Podcast. My name is Gabriel Trevino. I have my sidekick, the Z-Man, Johnny Zavala. Johnny, how you doing this evening?
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
All right. The other two members of the Pirates Cove crew could not be here. Mr. Steve Cantu and Tony Pena, but they will be back next week. So it's just me and the Z-Man, and we do have some guests. We will be talking volleyball this evening. We'll be talking to three of our varsity Rockport Fort Lady Pirates varsity volleyball team, and I'll introduce them here in just a minute. They are their record is 7-1. They've started out really strong this season, and I've already said on this podcast that I look for the girls to win district. That might just be a little, up a ways because there's still a long way to the season, but I've liked early on what I've seen and what I've heard, and there's a lot of experience on this team coming back, so the expectation is very high. And this evening we're going to talk to three of the varsity players, and we'll get their take on how they feel this season will go. We do have one of our varsity players, first time on the podcast, Miss Kaylee Howell. Kaylee, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right, Kaylee, thank you for taking some time to join us here on the podcast. And then, of course, the other two have been on the Pirates Cove podcast before last year during the softball season. Elena Garcia. Elena, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for taking some time to join us. Actually, Payton, this is the first time. Payton couldn't make it last time. So Payton, this is Payton's first time on the Pirates Cove podcast. So Payton, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right. And Payton, thank you for taking some time here to join us. So what we do here, ladies, is we definitely want to talk about the 2021 season. It's already underway. As I said, your record is 7-1. You girls are off to a great start with high expectations. Of course, we've had your coach, Mark Jeffries, on before, and he kind of talked a little bit before the season got going about the expectation, and he kind of talked to us about the experience that was going to be coming back. And so we kind of wanted to bring you guys on and let the community get to know who Kaylee, Payton, and Elena are. So I'm going to pass it over to my sidekick, Johnny. He has some questions for you. We'll just kind of be jumping back and forth. Go ahead, Z-Man.
All right, I'm gonna start off with you, Kaylee. How do you see this year's volleyball team compared to previous years?
So one big thing that I really noticed and really like is just the team community and culture that we have. It's very supportive and very strong. And I think that that is something that's really been different from previous years, mostly because of a little bit of the age difference. We've had a variety of, classes on the teams before, but we've just got juniors and seniors this year, and we've got really close friends. And that's a big difference. I see a lot of hard work and heart in everyone out there, and everyone's just ready to put it all on the floor for each other. And that's kind of the greatest thing and the biggest difference I've seen from previous years to now.
Yeah, y'all build up a great family, as we're seeing on the record right now. What got you into playing volleyball?
Really, it was my best friend, Michaela Molina. She's our one of our varsity setters. And she had always been super into volleyball, and we were just always together. So it kind of started off that way. And then I was like, okay, I actually like this. And so just being together with them, and then all the girls that are on the team I've kind of been playing with for a really long time. So I've just been very grateful to say I've had like best friends to just play a really fun sport with all the time.
That's cool. I've always wanted to know about that. What things do you do to prepare for a volleyball game? Any kind of ritual, any kind of superstitious stuff, or?
Well, like the great Michael Scott says in The Office, I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. And really, it's just us kind of being together as a team, because that's the biggest thing, not only for me just as an athlete, but for our culture and the one team culture that we're creating with the athletic program is being together. So we all make it a big deal to as long as possible before a game. If it's, we get out of school and we have walkthroughs and then we go get food and come back, we try to be together the entire time. And we have our little chant that we do right before each game to kind of get everyone pumped up and make some noise, and just kind of getting hype and jamming out in the locker room is some 3 big things that we do all the time that are really exciting and team building for right before big games.
What's your music of choice before a game?
Honestly, anything, but our DJ Messiah Hernandez is really into some 2000s hip hop hits. So we've been vibing with that for the past couple weeks.
That's sweet. That's good. That's good. Payton, what is your position on the team, and tell us exactly what you do on there?
I'm the libero on the team, which that means like I'm like one of the main passers on the team. So my main goal is to like get the ball up, just like so the setter can pass it. It's just like they're hitting the ball like super, super hard. And so just like get it up and just hope for the setter to have a good pass or like to get it to the hitter.
So you're the person with the odd jersey.
Yes.
I always wondered about that. What was the reason for that? Do you know?
I can only play back row, and I switch with the 2 middle hitters.
Okay.
Basically, she's the better passer, and they would rather her instead of me and Skinner. But it's okay. We got you at the net, Payton. We got you at the net.
No, we need you at the net. Payton, what got you interested in playing volleyball?
It was my mom. My mom played volleyball throughout high school, and she put me in a team when I was like before 6th grade, and I ended up loving it, and I just kept playing.
Where in 6th grade were you playing at?
In the before 6th grade, before I moved here, I played on a team in Pampa, Texas.
Cool. I was all like, I don't remember seeing no volleyball teams around here that young.
Yeah.
So what things do you do to prepare for a volleyball game?
Just like Kaylee said, we get together. We try to hang out before the games and get pumped up with music. It's just being together really helps.
That seems to be around. That seems pretty common that we hear a lot. What do you think, Gabriel?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we hear a lot of on the podcast.
I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to you.
All right, ladies. So I'll just kind of ask questions more about the season and the games. And Kaylee, I'll go to you first. The game last year, because all 3 of y'all were on varsity, correct? Last year.
Yeah.
The game last year against Wimberley, y'all guys went to the 2nd round. Of course, we lost. We had Coach Jeffries on earlier before the season started. He talked about you guys played one great set against a really good team, and he thought that you could build on that. But can you talk a little bit about last year's playoff game against Wimberley?
Yes, it was. It was probably one of our first moments where we were like, with that one set that he talked about that we won. We took a set from one of the best teams in this area, and it was one of the only ones that they had lost. I don't want to say all season, but for a pretty long time. So they were shocked. And I think we almost shocked ourselves with it and saying like, hey, we can play with who people believe are the big dogs, even though we are big dogs. And I think it definitely is a tough loss, but probably one of the greatest lessons that we learned, because we can all relate to it. Except for Kaylee Kopp, who is doing great to catch up with everyone right now and is a huge part of the team. But we can all relate to that loss and that feeling of knowing we could have caught up with them and won a couple more sets and gotten out of that 2nd round. But it's a great lesson to learn from. It's also one that we saw where they really exposed our weaknesses, but we still managed to come back. And the biggest thing I took from it was that it's a learning experience. Not only was it really fun to go 2nd round in the playoffs with everybody, but it was a great learning experience.
Absolutely. And the expectation is high, Kaylee, this year for the volleyball team. I mean, there's some big expectations.
Yes,
and yeah, so we're gonna, be there following you, live streaming your games. We told Coach Jeffries so that the community can see. Hopefully, will come out during our home games, especially the home games and on the road, and pack that gym up and cheer your girls on the victory. Because how sweet would it be for the volleyball team and the football team to win district to start off the year, right? That would be amazing. Following with our basketball programs coming in after, so it's going to be a great year, I think, for Rockport athletics. Elena, I'll ask you, what position? You're a junior, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Kaylee, you're a senior, and Payton, you're a senior.
Yes.
Okay. Elena, I would ask you if you could talk a little bit about the position that you play for the team, and what are your responsibilities on the team?
So I'm a right side hitter and blocker. So basically, once the setter gives me the ball, she sets the ball behind her head. And it's a common position to play as a left-hander because it's the easiest position to hit just because I can do so many different options. But on the blocking side, I'm there as a pin to help our middle blocker, both Kaylee Howell and Kaylee Skinner, set up so that we can block either line or cross. So I'm just there to make sure that we're all in the right area to block.
Yeah, Coach Jeffrey said it's like playing chess, man. He said you just got to be at the right place at the right time, and that's not easy. And you know, ladies, for us, it's we're learning. It's amazing. But the four guys that are on here, myself and the other three guys, we know very little about volleyball when we started out. We were like, you know, trying to figure out, you know, how is this game played? You know, when I was doing my first writing, I didn't was what a set, a match. I mean, I had to look it up to really see. So we're not too familiar, but I guarantee that by mid-season, we're going to be a lot better. We're learning every day, and we're following you guys. Elena, let's talk a little bit about this year, the 2021. So you guys had 2 scrimmages. Talk a little bit about those scrimmages. What did the team want to accomplish before the regular season started? How well did you guys do you feel?
I feel like in those 2 scrimmages that we had, it was just touching a ball and being able to reconnect with the team and grow a stronger bond so that when we play in district and in our harder preseason games, we're already like together and we know that we can trust each other. And yes, the scrimmages were not the prettiest, but we did come out when we did keep score. We did come out on the winning side of it, but the whole scrimmages weren't about winning the games. It was just about getting better for yourselves, your team, and your coaches.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll ask you again another question here. What got you interested in volleyball? Because I mean, of course, last year we know, and we've talked to you about softball, right? And so we know how much you put in softball. How did you get involved in volleyball, and how long have you been playing it?
So when I was little, me and my dad would play beach volleyball, and I didn't really like it. But when it came to 7th grade tryouts, my friends were just telling me, hey, just try out. I mean, it's just another sport. Like, we can do this. So I tried out, and then I ended up really liking it. I was good at serving because I was a softball player. So I was really good at that. And then it just all clicked in 8th grade and then now in high school.
Well, thank God for that friend that invited you to try out, and thank God for Kaylee's friend that invited her. Otherwise, we wouldn't have you two on the volleyball team.
Thank
And
you, everybody,
need-
for forcing Elena and I to play.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you girls play such an important role in the season this year. Wow, that's awesome. Payton, so let's talk a little bit about your first or your regular season game was against London. I didn't go. I started watching set 2 because I was busy with doing something with the podcast, but I was able to catch set 2, 3, and 4. Johnny was there, and we were kind of, you know, texting back and forth, and then we talked a little bit about the game. I know that we opened up and we lost the first set, but boy, you girls came storming back. And then 3 and 4, it wasn't even close. I mean, you girls were pulling away from London from the middle to the end. It was really never close. Talk a little bit about that game, as much as you can remember. Talk about the first set, and then how you girls felt losing that first set, and then how did you girls get it going? Because 2, 3, and 4 was like it was all Rockport.
The first set, I think, was like our mental mistakes. Like, they had no business in being like at our level at all. It was just us in our heads, and they're just getting like lucky shots. And so I think that after the first set, we just all got together and talked about it, and we all figured out like what our role was on the team, and we all like fixed it, and we all were like, it was like more hype. It was like more like momentum in the game, and it was just so much better.
Yeah, and I thought, I've always said this, ladies, when you lose the first set or you're down the first quarter or halftime of a basketball game, or the first 3 or 4 innings you're struggling in softball, it says a lot about the team when you can regroup. You take a punch from London and you're down. Now we're going to see what this team is made of, right? Like, okay, we can either come back and straighten it out because we know we're a good team, or are we just going to falter and keep making the mistakes? And in that game, you girls just got it together really quickly, came back and were just pouring it on. And I did get to see some clips of Kaylee spiking the ball down. Man, they have no shot at that. And it's great. And I think this team, like I said, it's going to be a great season for us to follow, for you ladies. And like I said, I've already called it here that you ladies will be the district champs. And hopefully there will be no injuries. Johnny, I'll throw it back over to you. I know you got some questions, and then I'll come back with some more questions for the ladies.
Elena, what goals do you have coming out of this volleyball season?
I feel like one of our main goals should just be being a really, like, not even just a team. We should be really close as family, sisters, and then Coach Jeffrey. But I just feel like by the end of even district, we just need to have that mentality that even if we're down a set or even if we are up, we still need to make sure that we're playing our game, because that's been our whole mentality and goals since last season. It's just playing our games, and if we need to, overcome adversity.
So going on that, how far you think this volleyball team will go?
I know that we're going to make it way farther past the second round. And I think as long as, like I said, we're playing our game that we know, and we're not doing any more and we're not doing less, that we're going to have a good shot at going far. And we might face Wimberley again. And that's going to be a battle because we're going to want to beat them again.
I tell you what, speaking of Wimberley, right now they're looking up to y'all. The reason I say that is 2 days ago, they came out with the new state rankings for volleyball. Wimberley's at number 8 with their 8-1 record. We are sitting on number 5 in the state, guys. Number 5 in the state. What a way to come out in the first state rankings for volleyball. The only way you can go up, and that's why I say Wimberley's like really looking up to y'all. Y'all have a lot of respect for the state again from these coaches, from the coaches poll. Just because y'all have all these returners coming back. So Wimberley's really looking at y'all. So y'all want Wimberley. I'm pretty sure they're going to want y'all too. So going on that, Kaylee, who do you think is your toughest team to face in district to even get out of district or to win the district?
I feel like everybody knows and everything. Sinton's kind of always been our hurdle and who we've had to get past. But I mean, everyone in our district should be worried. We should be the team to beat. And I say that because we played in the summer and we've played some early games and we've seen what Sinton has. And I just think that they haven't had the benefit of growing as a team. You know, they lost some of their seniors and even though they've had a great program there, they're still a great volleyball team. That's probably going to be one of the tougher games. But I don't have any doubt in our mind that we've become such a strong team that we should be way better than them, but that will probably be the game that's gonna come down to this deciding factor of who's first and second.
Yeah, they're having a tough start right now. I think they're like 2-6. But that don't say anything. You know, Sinton's always been the team that always
they are. You
know, come on towards as the season goes on. They get stronger.
They just want to beat the Pirates. I don't think they care about the rest of their season. They just want to beat us, and I just don't think they have it this year. So
yeah, you can't look at it. I mean, I look at it.
Live up to our words, but
yeah, I look at it because like Tolosa Midway also beat them 3-0. But again, you know, those are just stats at beginning of the season. You know, they're learning, as you said. You know, they're having to regroup themselves again. So who knows how they come out towards the end of the season? I wouldn't count them out But
Hey,
yeah,
Johnny. Hey,
it's sitting every sport, every level.
hey, Johnny. I just wanted to tell. I just wanted to say. They played some tough teams. They played Gregory Portland, who beat TM. They played Cal Allen. They've been playing some really tough teams, and I
Yeah.
like the confidence though, Kaylee. I think that some people would say, well, look, they're full of themselves when you talk like that. But I look at it as confidence. You gotta have confidence in yourself and your team, and you gotta talk that way, and you gotta be that way every day. You gotta have that confidence. You gotta have some swag, I guess you could say, to the season, and you gotta have that in your mind every practice, every game. We had a guy, I think, was it Rob Walker? He was an alumni, graduated back in '92 with us. And he said, a coach used to tell him back in the day, you tell people you're going to be good. And every time you see a team and you tell them, hey, we're going to be good, we're going to be good, they're going to start believing you. So I like what you're saying, as far as, I think it's confidence that you're talking, and you're the leader on this team. I would imagine, and people follow your lead. And if you're thinking like that and you're talking like that, then the team's going to think and talk like that. And that just makes it better for Rockport. So I personally like that type of talk. I get excited, man. After this podcast, I may just write another article on the Pirates Cove. I'm so pumped up right now, Johnny. I'll tell you.
And if I could say one thing on that, I just want to say that one thing that a lot of people don't understand about volleyball is everyone sees it. It's a slow game, right? Every time the ball hits the ground, you got to start over. And there's that break in between. And that's what makes it so tough, almost mentally, with keeping 12 girls on the same page. And, it's not always going to end well. You lose the point. You could lose 2 in a row. But I think that's where we beat a lot of teams, is just being so much more mentally strong and being able to push through those diversities and the difficulties that happen. And after what we saw in the summer, I feel like everybody's thinking the same way, and we're finding our confidence within ourselves. And I think that's something different that we didn't have playing Wimberley, and that's going to make a big change this year.
I'm ready, Kaylee. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. We're more pumped. I'm pumped, Johnny, man. Let's go, man. Tomorrow's football, Friday's volleyball. I'm ready to go, man. I just may call into work and just work on the Pirates Cove, man. I think I won't go back to work till Monday.
That's all I got, Gabe.
So Kaylee, I'll go to you next. So let's talk a little bit about the Aransas Pass tournament. You girls dominated. You went 6-0, beat the teams. And so talk a little bit about that tournament and what winning that tournament means to you and your team.
Oh, well, first of all, I do want to say that it wasn't a tournament that we're always in. And so not being able to play in the CCISD Spike Fest tournament was a little bit upsetting. But luckily we had a tournament we could get into, and we took it to them. We said, you're going to kick us out of this tournament. We're going to show you what we can do. And we all played great. Like Elena says, we're just playing our roles, not doing more, not doing less. And when we do that, we're unstoppable. So when we came out and we did that, it helped rebuild that confidence that we all knew we had, but couldn't see right away. And it was just a lot of great opportunities, because it was a lot of games, and for us to come together and work out all the kinks in the system and just play to our best ability. And winning that tournament, I think, was a good season starter, not only for the confidence, but for teams around us to see, like, we didn't go in and just beat teams like 21-25 and coasted through it. Like, we went out and showed them, like, we are here to do business, and this is where we belong, is being in front of everybody.
I'm loving it, Johnny. I'm loving it. Kaylee, talk a little bit about the tournament. How does that go? Y'all play a game? I've never been to a volleyball tournament. Do y'all play one game? Because I look at the schedule and it's 10-12. Is that varsity? Do y'all take like an hour break and then come back on? Sometimes they're back to back. How does that work?
Yes, so just depending on the time, they'll be back to back. And normal varsity volleyball games are 3 out of 5 matches, but tournament season, it goes to 2 out of 3. So that's how all the games were. In AP, we swept everyone in 2, and the Sinton tournament's going to be a lot tougher, but I think we have the ability to do that again. So In AP, we did have 2 back-to-back games, and then sometimes it was like 1 game off, so we just sat and watched, or we had a really long break in AP, and we went and ate and hung out together just to continue that team bonding that we always want to emphasize. And volleyball tournaments can be really fun. They're long days with a lot of playing, but it's a fun game, and when you have great people to play with, it's awesome to be there.
Yeah, and you girls have, and we'll talk about this in a minute before the podcast, before we end the podcast. So you got 2 big tournaments coming up. You got one in Sinton where you were talking about. There's a lot of good teams that come up there. And that's coming up here in a day or two on Friday, I believe, is when it starts. And then you girls are going to be traveling to Goliad, and you're going to be playing in a tournament out there. And I hear that there's always good teams out there in the Goliad tournament, and Goliad's pretty good itself. So it's going to be really fun. Definitely we're going to get tested. You girls are going to be tested, but it's just going to be great. And it's only going to make you ladies better and get ready for the tournament. So Payton, I'll go to you next. Talk a little bit about the Toloso midway game. So that's the one lost early on in the season. We're 7-1 now. Toloso midway, from what I understand, and I follow them a little bit, they've always had a very good volleyball program. Talk a little bit about that game as far as the competition. Was it more on us not playing well? Was it that they were just better, or was it just both?
I think it was more us. We were more like mentally weak, I think, in that game. Like I don't think we prepared as much as we thought we should have. Like as the game went on, besides that one set we had was really great. Everyone did their roles. Everyone did what they're supposed to do, nothing more, nothing less. But the game was just our mental mistakes, and they had some lucky shots, and it was a really good learning opportunity. We needed that. We needed an eye opener to show like our mistakes and what we need to work on.
And it's like Johnny and I talked, Payton, when you girls were playing softball. If we're going to lose a game, let's lose it early, right, Johnny? And we did. And then last year, then we saw what kind of a role you ladies got on last year. So definitely looking for that to happen with our volleyball team. I'll ask this next question to all 3, and I'll go to Elena first. Elena, talk about the upcoming tournament that you guys got against Sinton. Talk about the teams that, if you guys know the teams that are going to be there, of course, Sinton's going to be there, and what you girls look to accomplish. Of course, we want to win it all, but is there anything else y'all are looking for as far as the team to get better at and to prepare yourselves for the district when it comes around?
Yeah. Recently today at practice, we've set a small goal for ourselves, which is Friday on our pool games. We are wanting to win our pool bracket so that we can go into the championship bracket on Saturday. So I know we have Odom, and then I think some school out of Austin, I'm not sure. And then I'm aware of Vets and TM. So if anything, all of us have the idea of wanting to win and getting to play TM again because we want to give it to them. We want to win. And there's no question in my mind that everybody's thinking the same thing that we are. Like, we have to give it to them. They can't end on a high. We have to, what we like to say in practice is murder, which I know it's not really good, but when we put a ball down, that's what we say.
Hey, Elena, that's great. You know, I'm so pumped up, Johnny, that I think instead of saying we're going to start doing this, bring it. Bring it. That's how pumped up I am right now. Let's bring it. I love it, man. I mean, I can't compete. I loved, when I was Johnny played football and baseball in school. I was a basketball player. I wasn't a football player. I loved football. Was not a baseball player of baseball, but as a kid, I loved basketball. It came real easy to me. And I played guys that were 6'6". When I was younger, man, I loved it. I wanted to play the best. I didn't want to play somebody I could beat. I wanted to play somebody that everybody wanted to play. And I'd get whipped 10 times. But I guarantee you, man, I was coming. And they knew I was coming. They were going to have to come with their A game. And boy, I missed that competition. I still have that, but I don't want to play. I can't move on that court like I used to when I was younger, man. So, But it's great to hear you girls be so competitive, be so confident, and wanting to get to the top. That's what we need here. We need to stay hungry to get there. Payton, I'll go to you. Sinton tournament coming up. Your thoughts?
I think we just need to go in with a confident mindset and just show everyone like what we're here. Like we're here and we're gonna give you competition because we want to win.
Absolutely. There you go. Kaylee, I'll ask you the same thing. Sinton coming up. Your thoughts?
Oh, I'm so ready for Sinton. The thing that I said about the AP tournament is I want to come out and show everyone like that y'all kicked us out of this tournament, but we deserve to be playing the best of the best because we are a part of the best of the best. And I know it's definitely a tough tournament, tough teams, but we, like you said, like we want to compete at that high level. There's no point in playing games that you're going to win. You don't get anything out of it. And we just keep wanting to grow and get so much better that I'm really excited. And of course, beating Sinton at their home tournament would be awesome, but also getting that shot at TM again, just to show them like, hey, you caught us on an off day, but that's not who we are. This is who we really are, which is way better than you. So I'm just really ready.
Bring it. Bring it. I've got one more question before I pass it over to Johnny, ladies, and it's about Coach Jeffries. Talk a little bit. This is a question for the three of y'all. Talk a little bit about Coach Jeffries. We've had him on the podcast. We were really impressed with Coach Jeffries. We found out a lot about him that we didn't know. One of our members really did some digging, and we found a coach that can play multiple sports. He was really good at when he was younger. But one of them was volleyball, and this is his second year. Payton, I'll go to you first. Your thoughts on Coach Jeffrey? Y'all had him last year, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
He is such a great coach. I mean, when he came in, he stepped up and came in and he helped, I think, everyone individually, like not just with the volleyball. He was there. He's there for anything, like anything you need. If you need help with school, he'll be there for you. If you need extra practice if you're having a bad day, he'll come up to the gym and help you. He's just like such a good coach to put you through it.
Elena?
Yeah, just adding on what Payton said, he is an amazing coach. He's always there for us, like she said. But I think one of the major things that sets him apart is that he focuses more on the mental aspects of the game, making sure that we're not overthinking and that we have the confidence that we have in ourselves, because we all know that he is 100% behind us and he believes in anything and everything we put our minds to.
Yeah, we always talk about that here. It's the mental part of the game. I mean, we're all, you can be athletic and stuff, but getting the mental part of the game, understanding the situation and what you're going to be doing, it's important. It's not always easy. It's easier said, I think, than done, but that's why you have practice. Practice should make perfect, and so you girls are can do something special this year. Kaylee, your thoughts on Coach Jeffrey?
Well, yes, we love him and everything like the girls said, but I want to add it's tough love. Like he gets us with those those sarcastic comments sometimes, and I'm like, dude, chill. But it's because he wants the best for us, and when he gets out on the court, he will show us up. But again, it's because he wants the best for us, and that's just the greatest thing. And like they said, he's always there for us. He's great to be around, and I think he also helps with the community and the culture of the team. All of the coaches do, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Rockport because we have such a great coaching staff in every direction, and it's great that Coach Jeffrey gets to be a part of this team because we're awesome. He's awesome. It's just a perfect match.
It is, and we've also heard about Coach Robbins. She's been here for a few years, and we didn't know, but when Coach Jeffries informed us of her record as a JV coach, it's amazing what she's been able to do, and that kind of goes unnoticed, right? But when he was saying that, I was like, no way, and he said, that she basically wins more than she loses, a lot more. And so we're going to actually be inviting Coach Robbins back on to the podcast to talk volleyball here in about 2-3 weeks, and so we look forward to talking to her about what she thinks about the varsity also, and then to bring up the JV. And talk a little bit about the JV. And then, of course, there's Coach Clark as a freshman. She's ran this program for years. before Coach Jeffrey. So she very much knows volleyball and has had a lot of success as a head coach in the years, past years. And just to have her on the freshman level now with what she knows to help these junior high girls come up. I mean, this volleyball program can be good for years to come. So I think we've got 3 great coaches that we're going to be bringing volleyball like we do football and basketball to the forefront, right? To let our community know what's going on. Every game, we'll be posting stuff up on our social media pages, giving a preview and a breakdown of the games. I know sometimes it's hard to write when we don't win. It's real easy to write something when we're winning because it just comes in. But, we don't just want to write here on the Pirates Cove and talk about when we win. We got to take the good and with the bad when we don't win, but also breaking the game down and talking to our community, letting them know what's going on. The one thing we don't do here, ladies, is belittle the coaches or the players. That's something that when we first started the podcast, we say we'll never do that, and we'll make sure that we'll critique the game, but never belittle the players or the coaches. There's just no room for that here, so that'll never happen. And if it does, we'll stop it right away. Johnny, I'll go over to you, see if you have any other questions. We've already had the girls on for about 45 minutes. I know they've got to go, and first day of school, they might have some homework. I don't know, but they want to get some rest and get back over to the school. And
I don't have any more questions, but I want to wish y'all the best of luck. Y'all are a great group of athletes. I mean, this town of Rockport, the girls' athletics is just outstanding. We excelled in the softball season. We're starting the volleyball season just excellent. I mean, we're getting already respect from the state already. Hey, just keep going up and bring home that state title, girls. I mean, bring it home, go all out.
Yes.
I mean, this is some of y'all senior years. I mean, Elena, enjoy it. I mean, get these seniors going. Shit, just because you're a junior don't mean you can't be that top leader either. But you're always good. Payton, I seen you, grow up playing softball. I know you got that fight in you. Elena, you got the history of, the family background, stuff like that. It's like I'm watching your own mom playing again. And Kaylee, I mean, I went to school with your mom, you're also and stuff like that. So it's almost watching all over again, so y'all all got that winning in y'all, so, get out there, win it all, go all out, get back Wimberley. I think y'all get past Wimberley, get that regional championship, get to the state title, enjoy it, so you're going to have the talent behind y'all. Y'all getting that state ranking. So everybody's going to see that and everybody's going to start following. That gym will start getting packed.
One thing we always say about state rankings is it's just a ranking, right? I mean, it's great. And so for us on the podcast, we pump it up. We got a Rockport team that's, I mean, the girls, when they were number 1, we ate it up. I told everybody at work for like 2 weeks that anybody that I hadn't told and I saw, I was telling them. And I was very surprised that somebody just didn't tell me, hey man, that's enough. I mean, I was so excited. And that's what I do on the podcast. I pump it up. But for you girls, you got to go out there and play, right? It's a ranking. It doesn't mean you're going to win the state title. I mean, you can be beat by anybody. But I remember what Maddie Mann said one time when we asked her. I asked Maddie last year. I said, Maddie, what does the ranking mean to you? Does it mean anything? She said yes. And she said that the reason that it did was because it just showed her that there's people out there that appreciate the hard work. Somebody's paying attention to Rockport. Somebody's looking and saying, hey, these girls are putting in the work. And, when she put it that way, I thought that was great because it shows it's not about, we're going to win because we're number 1, but somebody's seeing the hard work that you ladies are putting in. And that ranking just kind of shows, and you should feel good about it because it's showing you're putting in the work. And hopefully we can get there this year, but know that the Pirates Cove is going to be behind you every game throughout the season. We're going to be inviting the rest of the girls, Kaylee and Elena and Payton. I don't know all the girls. And sometimes it's a little hard for us to get a hold of them because with softball, Johnny was with us. So Johnny knew a lot of the parents. We don't. So we'll probably end up, getting with Elena's dad or mom or Payton's parents or Kaylee, your mom and them to see if we can get in contact with like Kaylee Skinner, some of these ladies that we don't know to see if we can get a message over with the help of your parents to get a message over to their parents, because we don't ever contact the player before we contact the coaches, make sure they're okay with you guys coming on. Once they give us the approval, then we go to the parents and we ask the parents that we would like to bring you on, and then they talk to them, and then when they give us the yes, then we go ahead and contact them and hopefully get them on. So hopefully your parents can help us when we get together, see who the next group of girls will be, and helping us contact their parents so that they can we can get a hold of the parents and invite the girls on. Before I give you the last word, ladies, because we always give our guests the last word here. Just know that we're behind you 100%. We'll probably bring you girls back. I know that Elena and Payton, we will have you definitely back during the softball season. And Kaylee will definitely be talking about you, inviting you back when the basketball season comes to talk about that as well. But who knows? The season's a long season, so we may have you back once or twice more, inviting you to come on back and talk to us. So for this podcast, I'll give you ladies the last word. I'll go to Elena first. Anything you want to say before we call it a night?
Just thank you so much for having me, and I hope everyone has a great week.
Absolutely. Kaylee?
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to be able to speak with everyone and just talk about volleyball and everything. But I also want to just thank the community for everything they've done for us, because within the past about year and a half, 2 years, our community support has grown, and we've been able to see it from the court to the stands, and even just supporting us on social media. It's the biggest thing, and it means so much. And we do this for everyone in Rockport, and I'm just so grateful to have such a supportive community.
Absolutely. Payton?
Yes, thank you guys so much. It means a lot for you guys to do this for all sports, including talking about how everything works together. Everything works together as a community, and just thank you, and thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And don't forget, ladies, that we're going to be streaming your game. I'll be there on Friday, God willing. If my plans, I'm scheduled to be there. I think the first game starts at 10, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, in Sinton. So I'll be there. Hopefully they won't call me into work, but I'm scheduled to be off. So I'm planning to be there and live stream the game. Again, the game should be streamed on Facebook. GT Sports is where you can go on Facebook and stream the game and watch the ladies. So if you're not going to make the game, you can't make the game, please tune in. GT Sports on Facebook is where it'll be, and tune in and watch the girls. These girls are exciting to watch. We've already seen early on this season them play, and it's exciting. And when they're at home, and if you can make the game, please come on out to support the volleyball team. These girls come on. The louder that gym is and the packed noise that we make, the better I think our team will play. So come on now, show your support. If you see anything that's posted on volleyball or football, congratulations, and good luck goes a long ways, because our players do see what we write. So the more support, the better. And let's take the district title, ladies, and let's make a deep playoff run this year, and let's go all the way to state and win it, right? Who says we can't do it? We're ranked number 5th in state, right, Johnny? Why can't we do it? Absolutely. Injury free is a big thing, ladies. So I wish you ladies, the rest of your teammates, Coach Jeffries, Coach Clark, and Coach Robbins, good luck this season. Just know that the Pirates Cove will be behind you 100% this season. And we hope to invite you guys back sometime during the season. Have a great night, Johnny. Have a great night, ladies. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.